I've done a number of videos, a few videos, not a number of them. I should do more. I'm going to do more. How about that? On cheating. Cheating. Now, people think I'm cheating. I'm not cheating. I just think it's funny. And there are so many ways that people cheat at golf. And so the purpose of all the videos is, one, I think it's somewhat entertaining. People want to know. And people can't actually believe that those things are actually happening, especially some of them. Like I did one where I've heard about and we've known that guys plant golf balls on the golf course before a big tournament, like a member guest or something like club championships. Like guys have done stuff like this, and you hear about it, but then you're like, you see it happen, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, that just happened. The dude just totally did that. And yeah, so guys at these, this happens like at private clubs. It happens at other clubs too. Guys will go out and they'll say, okay, I know this hole. Man, I hit it over here a lot. They'll hide a ball down there. And so if they were to hit it there and they can't find it there, oh, here it is. There, the night before. It's happened. It's happened. And that's one of the cheating things that happens that you just can't believe. Other things that people do, like one of the things okay, it's cheating, but we allow it from time to time, and that's rolling your ball, like in the fairway or whatever. You roll it. I'll allow it in the fairway. If you hit the fairway and we're playing, now if we're playing a real match, like club-sponsored match or something like that, we don't do it unless we make some arrangement ahead of time, like, hey, we're going to lift, clean, and place in the fairways because it's wet or there's a lot of mud accumulating on the ball. But if we're just playing a friendly match for some money, if you're in the fairway, we're like, dude, just roll. You can roll in the fairway. It's fine. Especially, let's say they've aerated the fairway, they punched it or something, then you can, roll your ball out of a hole. Like that's or a divot. I'm not going to make you play out of a divot. I think that's ridiculous. I think that should be a rule that you change. So I don't necessarily consider that cheating, but if we're playing a match, yeah, then I do, right? If we're playing a real match, then I consider that cheating. Something I do see a lot of all the time is marking your ball, like on the putting green. Guys will mark it. A lot of times they'll put their coin in front of the ball and pick up the ball, and then when they replace it, they put their ball in front of the coin. And you're like, wait a sec. You just picked up a couple inches, but you know what? That helps. It helps. You have a 3-footer and you do that, and then you have a 2-foot, 8-inch, 9-inch, 10-inch. That's man, I'll tell you, that makes a huge difference in that like scary zone. So that marking the ball thing is one of the ones that I see all the time. And you got to watch out for those guys with the big fat coins. They mark the ball with that big old round guy. And they'll put it even behind the ball. Then when they replace their ball, they scoot it up. And I've seen guys mark, and a couple of times they put it down, then they pick it up, brush something off the ground, and then replace the ball. I've seen that happen all the time. People think I'm making this stuff up. No, it happens all the time. Sand shots is probably the space where people cheat the most. Like you jump in that bunker, guys jump in and they just move that ball to the upslope. They slide, because you think about it. Someone's standing, I don't know, 10, 20 yards away. They're up there, like, and you go down into a trap. They can't see the ball many times. So that these guys just slide it over, fluff it up, brush the little sand from behind the ball. No one's really like, there's no cameras on you. Nobody's watching you that closely. That happens a lot. You hear people changing scores and like, oh, I got a bogey when I actually had a double bogey or things like that. Like that happens. The changing your scorecard, though, happens all the time in these big scramble tournaments. These guys, You see the guys, like, typically the team who turns their card in last wins. Why do you think that is? Because they're looking to see what everybody shot, and then they go and they scribble out and they change their scores. That happens a ton, and that's frustrating. And even now that they have golf on your phone, on the Golf Genius app, where's my phone? I don't even know where my phone is. People, and I've seen this. I was in a tournament, and we were going crazy, and we were in first place. And there was one team that was right neck and neck with us, and then go figure, on the very last hole, they did what they had to do to win. That was crazy. I'm like, are you serious? Like, that just doesn't happen like that. And so even with that Golf Genius app where you can track the score in real time, it's with all the players, that kind of opens the floodgates for even more cheating, because people know what they need and they just plug it in the app. So that's crazy. That's one of the biggest cheating things going on these days. Also, hitting provisional balls. I've seen this in tournaments, like club championship events. I've played with people who hit the ball. Dude, that's out. That's out. I mean, that's out of bounds. That's on the road. You could just, the thing was hooking. Well, let me hit a provisional. Okay. Oh. And they reach in their pocket. They say, okay, that one was a 1, this is a 2. Or that had a red line, this has a green line. That had a blue line, this has a green line. Right? And then they hit. And then they get to the ball and like, okay, this is my first ball. Yeah, because my first ball had a red line. This second ball had a green line. This is a red line. But the thing is, nobody ever checked what you actually put the second ball. Nobody ever checked what you had on the first ball, because we weren't paying attention. You just tee up your ball, you hit your shot. Then you called out something on the tee box, and whatever. We're like, okay, we trust you. And you hit it, and you're like, oh, dude, yeah, where's your second ball? I don't know. I didn't find the second one. I found the first one, though. I've seen that so often. It's just ridiculous that people do that. And then I've looked at my playing partners. I said, what do you say? What was the first one? Red or green? I don't know. No one knows. No one pays attention. And you're like, is that his first ball? Like, there's no way his first ball is in. Seen it a million times. That's a big one. The other one you've seen on tour, especially with Patrick Reed, was that embedded ball rule. And that happened at Torrey Pines. Was it the 10th hole? I remember exactly where it was. His ball hits, bounces, and then he says it's embedded, which is ridiculous, because who was it at the Players Championship who it bounced the fairway, and then it goes into somebody else's pitch mark in the middle of the fairway? Who is it? Was that Paul Casey or something? Might have been Paul Casey. And it's embedded, but it's not embedded in his embedded mark. And so he had to play it as it lies. Really cost the guy the tournament, in my opinion. So, but Patrick Reed's ball bounced. Everybody saw it bounce. Camera guys, everybody saw it. And then it's embedded in the rough. No, nothing embeds in kikuyu grass. Nothing embeds. Doesn't do it. So, there you go. But that was one that people do. Like, oh, my ball's embedded. And when you're just playing a match, a lot of times you don't go, yeah, my ball was embedded, I'm taking a drop. And then you're like, oh, well, I didn't see it. But you trust your guy. That's happened to me. People have done that playing against me. Seen it a lot. Okay, whatever. How about, okay, when you hit the ball in the bushes, you don't get to whack branches down during your practice swing. I'm sorry. You do not get to do that. If you take a practice swing and you knock a branch down, that's a penalty. If you take a practice swing and leaves or things fall off the tree, that is a penalty. You cannot do that because you're improving your conditions. So you got to be careful about that one. That happens a lot. Also, when you're down there, is pushing down on the grass behind your ball. Anytime you push down, you're improving your lie. A lot of times you even see it on tour. These guys get that club down there. And you're like, dude, that's borderline right there. Like, that's right on the edge of, I think you could be improving that a little bit. But they don't call guys too much on that. Patrick Reed did it in the bunker, and people called him a cheater, and he claims he didn't, but whatever. It is what it is. That was in the sand. That's where it happens the most, but it happens in the rough a lot too. Switching clubs, constantly putting stuff behind it, and anytime you improve it, you're breaking those rules. And finally, and let me know things you've seen out there on the course where people are cheating that you're like, oh, hey, ooh, hey. One of the ones, and I've done videos on this, and I don't think it helps, but people still think it helps, and that's putting a little Vaseline, a little lip balm or whatever on your club face right before you hit your drive on like a narrow hole. That, to me, I don't think it helps. People think it takes spin off the ball because there's less friction between the ball and club face when you do that, which is true. But I've done it and I haven't really noticed any difference. I've put it on TrackMan. I've done it testing, course, outdoor, indoor, everything, and it didn't really affect it that much. I think back in persimmon days and balata balls or much softer balls, it would probably have more of a dramatic effect on the ball. But today, I don't think so. I don't think that's how. So, whatever, you could do that if you want. It's still a violation of the rules. But those are kind of the top ways I've seen people cheat over the years. So if I've missed something, let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys soon.